Hey, Uncle Bill. So, unfortunately, or I guess it depends how you look at it, but unfortunately, one of the stocks that we have together, and I really like too, it reported its earnings and it came down a lot. Like it came down a lot, unfortunately. But like I said, it depends how you look at it. It's a really good chance to buy this thing because since it's come down so much, I'll get into why and stuff, why it came down so much. But because it's come down so much, you're getting a 9% yield. And these guys they'll increase the dividend in time. They'll just keep increasing it and increasing it. It's being stupid here, but my point is like you know how I was telling you how you want as funny as it is, you want your stocks to go down, and then once they go down, and you're not ahead of them, you have an unrealized loss, like technically you're down on them, then that's good because you want to buy them because you want a dollar cost average down, not dollar cost average up. Ideally, like it depends what the market is doing right now. Clearly the trend is down, and I would say that the risk is very much clearly to the downside. So you want to be dollar cost averaging down for sure. Anyways, we'll get into it here. Why they kind of well, the market made it shit the bed. So basically, why is because so and it's the reason why, ironically, why I like this company so much is okay. So this is a utility company, right? Utility, and the deal is with utilities is they grow very slow. Like that's the thing with utilities that not everybody hates is that they grow very slow, and they're nothing fancy or flashy at all. They're just very slow. So these guys, what they do is that they're very aggressive, and they decided to grow a lot here. Like if we look and try and find their, here it is. Like you can see here, like they grow a lot. Like they put in a lot of acquisitions, and they put in a lot of money in during 2020, 2021, and 2022 because well and during this time, of course, 2020 and 21 and the start of 2022, it was free money. Like, we both know it, right? It was free money. You had 0% interest rates. It was free money all around. So, and when you think about this and why I like this company so much and why I'm still so high on it and saying buy some more is because of it's utility company. It's such a defensive company. Like you can't tell me that any of these deals were bad just because it's a utility company. There isn't really a bad deal. Unlike like you can overpay for something, right? You can overpay for something, but nonetheless, like it's still the asset is still going to perform, and you'll know pretty much when it's going to pay out. Like it's just such a defensive natured business. Every acquisition, everything you do, everything you invest into the business is arguably it may suck now because they raised the interest rate so much. Because why it went down so much was because they raised the interest rate so much and they didn't expect that, and because they took on a lot of debt to expand it. Like I was saying with TELUS and taking on debt, the only reason they're taking on debt is so that they can grow. So and like you can see here, like they grow to fuckload. Like you can see here, and they also grow the dividend a lot as well. So it was a combination of the rising interest rates, and then they also unfortunately had where is it here? They had a delay in construction projects, so that unfortunately affected them as well. So they didn't make as much money because they had a delay in the construction projects. And like the market just it hated this. Like it to Friday, they reported earnings, hated it. Monday, like the day after earnings, technically, because the market's not open on the weekend, hated it again. Even though I look through all this stuff, like you go here and it's not here, but you can, if you go and I look through everything. Like these are public companies, so I get to see. It's not this. It might take a while to show up, but my point is that I get to see their financials. I get to see their books, and because I took accounting, ironically, the one course that I did take in school that's helped me was 2 years ago was accounting, so I can read through these guys' books because they are a public company. I can read through them completely and understand them fully, and everything is good. There's no reason at all for people to be fucking shitting the bed like they are, like the fucking world's ending, and like the company's going bankrupt. And again, like think it's because of it, like it's such a defensive natured company. Like again, like it's a utility company. You can't like it's always going to be making money, and arguably it can't go bankrupt. And on top of that, so part of fuck, I'm trying to find here. So there's regulated utilities, and then you can oh fuck, I wish I could find it here, but there's regulated utilities, and then there's unregulated utilities. So regulated utilities is effectively the government decides the power rates. The government works with the company and they decide what the power rates are going to be, how much they're going to be increased and stuff. So that's what regulated is. But anyways, my point is that so the regulators, they're going to see that AQN has had to pay up more and they're going to need more capital, and they're going to recognize that, but they also recognize obviously that the consumer is also struggling and they don't really want to have higher power rates. But still, nonetheless, the regulators have to recognize the fact that AQN needs higher power rates, and AQN said so themselves on the conference call that, we're going to have some of the higher power rates or utility rates are going to offset the interest rates. And again, on the conference call, like the stock was acting like it was the end of the fucking world. Like the company was getting like something was just terribly wrong. But if you listen to the call, like everything was fine, and even like the analysts on the call, the people who, this is like literally they dive into every single atom, like to down to like they look at microscopic details about this company and about a certain sector or group of company the analysts do. And they weren't too thrilled, but they were not concerned at all. Like again, like if you look here, it has come down so much. I'm saying buy some more, and you get this 9% yield. I wish I could. Fuck, I should have pulled this up. There is one risk with this, and I should have. I will actually. I'll go through this with you in person, but there is one risk, and it's a lawsuit actually, because in 2020 there was this big fire, and unfortunately the fire was well, it's not proven or it's not said for sure, but it is somewhat. I don't know for sure. I can't find a lot of details at all on this, but basically a big fire happened in this town, and it did like a big fire happened, did a lot of damage, and the town is blaming it on this company, and they're saying that it's their fault for causing the fire. So they're suing them, and they want obviously to be, they want them to pay the damages. This was way back in 2020, and I believe I haven't found anything on it recently at all. Like I dug into it. There's no recent news at all on it except from 2020 and then 2021. I will get back to you on that. I just seen it like briefly because again, like if you go through here, every single company, because it's a public company, they have to list all of their risk, every single risk that could go wrong. So you have obviously the interest rate risk, you have the economy risk, and every business, every company is very different. They all obviously have their each individual risks of what can go wrong, but they have to list in detail the risks and what can go wrong in the pot, like everything, very much in detail the risks. So that's where I ended up finding that. And but again, like it's all because like I can look through the balance sheet and everything about this company and every single public company. I always do. And everything is solid here. Like if you look here, it's ugly. Like you'll see it's down. I don't even know. It went from 15 here all the way down to $10 in the matter of 2 days, because yeah, they missed on earnings, and basically they got too aggressive, and with the rising interest rates, and I'm upset at them because they should have been on this earlier. As much as like I don't blame them, because again, they're a utility company. They're so defensive. They can afford this, and it's like they're just so defensive. Like, you know what I mean? we're not a cyclical company like the tech companies. They're all cutting jobs. The tech companies were the first companies to be cutting cost. AQN should have been on this earlier, a lot earlier, but they decided to kind of leave it till now, and they this is what you get. Unfortunately, I'm a little upset at management because they weren't on this earlier, and now we're gonna have to. Well, now they did announce that we're gonna change some shit and they're gonna cut back on spending and stuff. I mean, they obviously have to, and on top of that, you better fucking believe that the stock price drop here is gonna motivate, is gonna make them make some changes. At the end of the day, like, and again, I look in like I do every I look in the company, I look into the CEO of the I looked into the CEO of this company. He's been with them since 2019. The CEO has a long, good track record of being in this business, and he's had a long career, like in this exact kind of business that this is in. And he joined in about 2019. So, and I think he's, this is his plan. It's obviously this isn't directly part of his plan, the share price falling off a cliff. But I think that he's executing his plan, but he should have been on it a lot earlier and just cut back costs a little bit, or at least, just tell the market that. Because if you just tell the market that, okay, we're going to focus on reducing debt, we're not going to spend as much, and that it makes a hell of a difference. And then, of course, you can tell the market in advance. Like, you can tell the market a year in advance or a year and a half in advance, half a year in advance, what you're going to do and stuff. But nonetheless, I'll just leave it there. Again, buy a little bit more because it's got a big fat dividend on it. And they should increase it. They should only increase it over time, and it works out great for your situation. I love it for you because it's got that nice big fat dividend, and it's defensive. As much as the market is acting like it's not defensive, it's a utility company. Again, who the hell isn't, like I always say, who the hell isn't going to pay their fucking utility bill or their power bill? So I'll be down this weekend. Do whatever the hell you want. Add a little bit more to it, but I'll be down probably next weekend. Yeah, I'll just kind of leave it there. Have a good day or night, Uncle Bill. And yeah.